Welcome to the RYM Student Podcast, helping you fit God's truth into your life. Reflecting on biblical truth is vital for the life of the believer. We hope this podcast will encourage you in your walk with Jesus. The following was recorded at one of Reformed Youth Ministries conferences. The audio might not be clear, but the message is. We hope you enjoy it.
What would it look like practically, if this is what's true of us, what does it look like practically to struggle well as a Christian? First of all, if you're going to struggle well, you need to be a Christian, right? Because the only one who can satisfy you as a sexual being forever and ever is God. Because that's where we're going. I think Jonathan Edwards translated, I as a parent, if I describe sex to my kids when they're like 5 years old, their response is like, maybe tears. They're kind of like, this is really awkward and weird. I don't understand it. So Jonathan Edwards said, like, you got to have like this analogy of, you say, like, what is your favorite thing right now? Like, where is your heaven, children? And they would be something like the candy store. Like, they could relate to that. For an adult, our candy store is like sex and the sexual union. And Jonathan Edwards said that we have to take that next step. That what sex teaches us and what it shows us about ourselves and what it shows us about our need, it's like that next step. When we're with God, that's the fulfillment of it. So we're like in the candy store right now, but someday it will be the fullness when we're with God. And we will be loved and known, cherished in a way that will make sex, we'll look at it like, this is just a candy store. Like, that was just a precursor. What we have forever with God is the incredible wholeness of that. If you and I are bent to make creation an ultimate thing, and it's particularly going to show, because God made us male and female to bear His image, to show His identity, this is the place where Satan is especially going to attack us, where he especially wants to expose us and make us doubt God's goodness. And say things like waiting, saying no, not now, putting good boundaries around our relationships, doing things that our culture doesn't encourage. He wants you to believe that that's just a bunch of crap and old-fashioned and stupid, and it just, like, why would you put yourself through all that misery? If you're a Christian and you understand God's love for you in Jesus Christ, and I just refer you to the last two talks, the last two nights of our speaker, and those have been incredible. I love how he's connected it to the response. That story of the young man who liked this particular girl, and the girl's like, I'm pregnant. I mean, that was the gospel, that young man is like, I love pregnant girls, which is just so awkward, but like there was something that he understood of, like, the kind of love that he had for this girl wasn't perfect, but he expressed, I love you just because. You know what that means? I don't love you based on your current condition. I don't love you based on how you are going to act or but I love you just because. I love you for God's sake. Does that make sense? And that's the only kind of love that frees you and me to struggle well. Let me put it another way. If I went home and I said, sweetheart, to my wife Emily, I learned at RYM just how much I love you. I love you because you're beautiful, you're athletic, you're really flexible, you're a great cook, you're a hard worker, your hair is awesome. Just went on and on about what she does and what she's like. And I just kept going, I love you because of those things. All right? Ladies in the room, how would you feel if someone approached you in that way? I love you because you look a certain way, you act a certain way, you do certain things really well. How would you feel? Would you feel like, man, I'm loved well? How would you feel? All of us are going to change. When I got married, I was 140 pounds. I am now about 200. Okay, so I've gained 60 pounds in marriage. My hair is falling out. That's why I wear a hat. And it's only going to get worse. Like, I'm going to get flabby. I'm going to get more bent over. Things are going to start breaking. And it's the same with my wife. And if my love is based on what she does and how she looks, she can't keep that up. None of us can keep that up. And that puts so much pressure on us if we're loved that way. That's works. We're loved for what we do. But God doesn't love us that way. He loves us just because. Because He loved us, right? He loves us because we're made in His image, and He put His Spirit in us so we would be His image bearers. And that kind of love frees us to the struggle.
For more information on RYM student conferences, visit rym.org/conferences.